Still unable to cure diseases like Alzheimer's or autism. And the BRAIN Initiative will change that by giving scientists the tools they need to get a dynamic picture of the brain in action and better understand how we think and how we learn and how we remember.
It is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2013. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. President Obama proposing $100 million in federal funding to map the brain with a goal to treat disorders such as Alzheimer's. Wall Street Journal's Andrew Ackerman. He joins me now from Washington, D.C. Andrew, a big chunk of change there proposed. What is the ultimate goal of this project?
Yeah, so the ultimate goal is to have a better understanding about how the brain reasons, how you remember things, how you recall your memories, and that's by doing this very comprehensive and ambitious mapping of the brain. Now, there's 100 billion neurons in the brain that affect memory and reason and emotion, and there's 150 trillion synapses attached to those neurons, and right now it takes years to map even one neuron. So they're trying to get the public sector, the National Institutes of Health, DARPA, National Science Foundation to sort of work more collaboratively with the private sector, with foundations, philanthropists, and to sort of set specific goals. Right now it's very open-ended, but eventually they're hoping that they'll have these very dynamic maps of the mind, and that will lead to cures for ailments like you mentioned.
So the $100 million would come from several different places in the federal government, and that would be part of, I assume, President Obama's proposed budget. Now, I mentioned Alzheimer's. What are some of the other practical goals that might be out there? I understood that this might actually be of help to some military veterans returning with post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah, I mean, the goals are pretty lofty. I mean, that's something that the president mentioned in his remarks this morning. They're talking about cures potentially, or ways to help people with Parkinson's. I don't know if it'd be an actual cure, but like I said, it's very open-ended. The thing about the $100 million is it's actually a pretty modest investment. It sounds like a lot of money. That's the initial request that they're going to make in their budget next week. The White House has a budget proposal for the fiscal year that's going to come out next Wednesday. But $100 million isn't a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. The president compared this to kind of like to the Apollo space program, and that program I think cost $20 billion at the time. That's more like $150 billion or $200 billion today. So we're talking about a small amount of money. There'll be sort of matching funds from philanthropists and companies, but it's still pretty modest, and it's not quite clear specifically what the goals are. They're still gonna sort of figure out what they want the goals to be,
right,
and set targets for them.
All right, he likened it to the Apollo space program, which of course sort of helped eventually lead to the development of CT scans. Sounds like he's thinking a lot about his legacy with this potential proposal. Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right.